what would your life look like if you could let go of everything that doesn't serve you? The thoughts, the behaviors, the beliefs, the people, the activities. If you could let go of all of those things that don't serve you, who would you be? How would you show up? What would you do? Really take a moment to think about this, because in this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 steps that make letting go simple. Now, simple does not mean easy, okay? Because it only becomes simple once you accept how hard it is, okay? Seems like a paradox on the surface, but the reality is that anything worth achieving, anything worth having, anything worth accomplishing is on the other side of effort. And yes, you will have to exert your effort into these 5 steps, but if you stick to the end of this video and really implement them, it can really make the difference between trying to push against something and resisting something to just letting go of these things and creating the space for your growth, for your development, for your improvement and evolution as a person. Okay, now the first step that makes letting go simple is that of getting clear on your values. Okay, this is so critical, because the question that I love to ask, that comes from Charles Bukowski, is that do you remember who you were before the world told you who you should be? Because so many of us have become slaves to external opinions, obligations, and expectations. Because if you do not concern yourself with your values, because most people don't even know what their values are. Most people have not created the time or the space to ask themselves what is important. And when you don't know what is important, then it becomes very easy to get swayed by the unimportant. It gets very easy to become a slave to the things that external stimulus are telling us are important, like the money, like the car, like the vacations. And if that's important to you, it's important to first get clear that, okay, what is important to me is creating that life of luxury. What is important to me is staying disciplined so that I can create that life of luxury. What's important to me is committing to mastery so that I can go and offer my greatest gifts and greatest service to the world and get paid in like kind. Because if you don't know what your values are, you will be infected by the values that society tells you, that the marketing tells you, that you scrolling on IG on other people's profiles tell you, okay? So it really starts this whole process of personal development. Step number 1 is to get clear on what your values are in an ideal world, okay? And once you're clear on your values, right, I recommend pausing this video or right now in the comment section, writing down what are your top 3 values that are most important to you. Because once you get clear on that, you also get clear on what is unimportant. You also get clear on what contradicts these values, okay? Because the second step that makes letting go easy, because first step is about, okay, letting go of external opinions so that you can become more concerned about your opinion of you, which comes down to monitoring your behavior, okay? What you say are your values is not true unless your behavior matches up with them. What you think are your values is not true until your behavior matches up with them. And if you say and you know and you've created the space, okay, discipline is a very important value for me. Focus is a very important value for me. Education over entertainment, that is a value for me. But then you observe your behaviors and you monitor it, and they are outside of alignment with what you have deemed as valuable, then the reality is that your values have been hijacked, okay? And that is an opportunity for you to expand your awareness and realize that my behaviors have been hijacked. My reward system in my brain has been hijacked because I'm doing things that are outside of alignment with my values. And when you monitor your behavior, right, like what I do is monitor my habits. I'm like, these habits allow me to live into the expression of my highest values. Every single week I have a score. How consistently did I stick with the values that I have determined are important for me? And if my score is above 80%, I know I'm doing pretty well according to my own standards, right? It's not about you aligning to my standards. It's about you creating your own standards and assessing and measuring yourself about how well in alignment you live up to those standards as well. That is what we focus inside the Monk Mode Challenge as well. It's not open for enrollment at the time of this recording, but you can check it out by clicking the link below. Hashtag humble insert of promotion. But understand that it really comes down to these 2 steps first and foremost that make letting go easy. The only way that you can let go of what other people think about you is by becoming concerned about what is important for you and then determining how well you are living up to those values. Okay, this is not about letting go and not giving an F about what other people think. It's about you becoming more concerned about what you do, what you say, what you think, but less about what other people think, what other people say, and what other people do, right? Marcus Aurelius would say that is a tranquility that we experience when we only concern ourselves with what we did or what we failed to do, okay? So those are the first two steps. And the third step is especially important, which is to create an empowering ecosystem, right? Forgetting the spelling of system over there, but empowering ecosystem, which is basically a combination of your environment and the people in that environment. Okay, understand that the people in our lives have a gravitational pull on us. When we surround ourselves with people that are an embodiment of the values that we have determined are important, they will actually pull us up. They will actually lift us up to those standards as well. But when we determine that our values are mastery, our discipline, our education, our gratitude, our focus, and then we surround ourselves with people that are actually struggling to live up to those values, well, it'll be a gravitational pull that will get you down. So it's so important to consciously choose the people that you surround yourself with, the people that you invest your time and your energy with. Because if you surround yourself with an empowering ecosystem, the people that support you, that lift you up, it will be that much more smooth in letting go of the behaviors that don't serve you, because you are lifted up to the standard of the ecosystem, of the environment. When other people have an expectation of you that pulls you up, right? Then you get lifted up. When other people have an expectation of you that pulls you down, like let's say you surround yourself with people that drink all the time, that smoke all the time, and you surround yourself with them and you're like, yo, I'm gonna go there, but I'm not gonna drink, I'm not gonna smoke. It's gonna be a gravitational pull that's gonna propel you towards that, and eventually you will give in, okay? So consciously creating an environment that serves your highest expression, that allows you to live in alignment with your values, is the determining factor over here. You've already seen this quote on Instagram so many times, that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Show me your friends, I will show you your future. And it is so true. Okay, it is so true. And this is why it is so important to consciously cultivate a social system, a social circle, the people in our lives that will either lift us up, right, or they will lift us down. There is no middle ground over there. Okay, now the fourth step that makes letting go easy is that of practicing detachment. Okay, now it could be argued that this is all about detachment, and this is all about detaching from the things that don't serve you, so that you can create the space for the things that do serve you, because you have a limited amount of time, energy, and attention. And once you can allocate that towards the things that do serve you, is when you will experience the growth in those areas in your life as well. Okay, where attention goes is where the energy flows, and where the energy flows is what grows in your life. Okay, and if you want the things to grow in your life, like your values of discipline, like focus, like gratitude, like humility, right, then you surround yourself with that ecosystem, and then you also practice detachment, which comes on 2 different levels. Okay, now the first thing that so many of us attach to is that of the outcome. I'm making this video right now so that I can get a specific amount of views, so that I can get a specific amount of subscribers, and the more that I attach to that outcome, the less I will able to bring my best energy to what I am doing right here, right now. Okay, this is an ancient teaching. This comes through in Stoicism. This comes through in the Bhagavad Gita. It is about the archer that takes his aim, and then he lets his arrow go, right? He takes the action, but he does not attach himself to the fruit of that action, because the more you are wanting to get something as a result of your action, the more you will push that away, right? In the relationship, you can see that when someone is needy, when someone is really needing someone else's attention or really needing someone else's time, then that person actually repels them in that way as well. In the same sense that when you are really needy of getting money, when you really want to close the sale, then those people on the other side will be repelled by that. On the other hand, when you take the action for the sake of taking action, when you do the thing because you get joy just through the process, is when you can detach from the outcome. Okay, now the second thing that we detach ourselves to, the second dimension, is the things in our life, the relationships in our life. And what this does is cause a lot of unnecessary suffering, which we hold on to. So the key to letting go of that unnecessary suffering is to realize the transience of everything in our lives, to realize that everything is changing, that the one constant in this universe is change. And this does not mean that you cannot enjoy the things in your life. It doesn't mean that you can't enjoy your relationships, right? It's about understanding that everything that has a beginning has an end as well. And you can enjoy that thing without getting attached to it. The best example is when you, for example, go to an Airbnb. It is an amazing place. It has a hot tub on the roof. It has the most comfortable bed you've been on. It has an amazing library of books that really allow you to elevate your consciousness. And you book that Airbnb for a week. So it's not like you spend that whole week trying to get attached to it in the morning that you're going to lose it and it's only for a week. You spend that week truly relishing it, truly enjoying it, truly bringing your presence to it. And when the time comes to leave, you just leave. In the same sense, your life, the one you're experiencing right now, is a rental, right? The relationships that you have, yes, everyone that you will know at some point will be gone from your life, or you will be gone from that life. So that is really an opportunity not to mourn over that, not to resist that, but to bring our presence to that. If your parents are old right now, like you can go and try to attach, oh no, I'm going to lose my parents, they're so old, they're acting sick, oh no, I really need them. And you can flip from that to bringing your best presence, to bringing your energy, to really being thankful for their presence in your life. So detachment is not about when you own nothing. Detachment is about nothing owning you. Okay, this is what Prophet Ali said, right? Detachment is not about owning nothing, it's about nothing owning you. And once you again get clear on what your values are, then you attach to them. And that is when you detach from everything else that is unimportant. Okay, now the fifth step is especially critical, and this is to die before you die. What does that mean? So this is a concept from Eckhart Tolle, okay, Eckhart Tolle, in A New Earth. He talks about dying before you die, and this is about you dying as a result of consciousness rather than as a result of time. Because if time kills you before your own consciousness does, then you will be stuck on that cycle of samsara, right? What the Hindu philosophy would call the cycle of life and birth. And we keep going through that cycle until we are able to absorb the lessons that we came in this realm to realize. So to die before you die comes through knowing that I came with nothing, right? I came with nothing, I'm going to leave with nothing. I have nothing to gain and therefore I have nothing to lose, right? You cannot gain anything. You cannot take something with you once you depart this physical realm. So in that sense, you realize that you have nothing to gain, which means you have nothing to lose, which means that you just have to give, right? You only came here to give, right? You only came here to give your gifts, and you only came to offer your services, and everything that you experience that like through that process, it's amazing. You can appreciate it, you can really be grateful for it, but you don't attach to it. Okay, and that is what makes the letting go process so much simpler. Once you realize what your values are, once you realize what your behavior is and whether it aligns with your values or not. And if it's not aligning with your values, chances are that you are in an ecosystem that doesn't support the expression of those values. And if you are doing those things, but you're still attached and you experience suffering and you really want to achieve a certain result, or you're really attached to your identity, you're really attached to your looks, you're really attached to your car, to your house, realize the transience of all things. Realize that everything that we are experiencing will change. The relationships will change, right? And you will change. And your face will change. Your physical structure will change. Everything will change. And if you can come to terms with change, is when you can let go of your need to attach to the way that things are. Okay? And of course, to die before you die means that you let go of thinking that you can get something in this life. Yes, you can appreciate the beautiful experiences that you have, but again, getting attached to them is what holds us back from truly experiencing them, right? It's like if you're in that Airbnb, you know it's a rental, and then every single day you just think about the part of you leaving that Airbnb. You rent an amazing car, it's a sports car, it's your dream car, you rent it for 3 days, and the whole 3 days you're just thinking about the part where you depart from the car, right? But in the same sense, that's life, right? Life is a gift that is given to us for this limited amount of time. So might as well make the most of it by letting go of the things that don't serve us and creating the space for the things that do, by getting clear on these 5 steps right here, right now. Okay, so leave a comment below with your top values, okay? And also let's open up the discussion. If your behaviors are not in alignment with your values, Why is that the case, right? Why can you know what to do but still not do what you know? More often than not, it comes down to the ecosystem. Okay, so I sincerely hope that this was helpful for you. Click the like button if you like this video. Subscribe if you have not already. I will leave out another video in the description that goes deeper into the letting go process. Check that out as well. But with that, I'll conclude this video. I hope that you got value from it. Much love to you. Take care. And I'm going to leave you in the peace and power of the one infinite creator.